Hi guys, my name is Zin, and this is maybe Bonsai. Today I'm here with Nigel in the Bonsai Zone, and we're going to prune up my pomegranate, which is, as you can see, is overgrown. So, so hopefully when I get home, this will be a prune tree and not a prune stump.
I promise it won't be too bad.
All right, we're taking a look at the tree. So from this view, you can see there's the thickest part of the trunk is visible from this view. If I go to the back of that, there's a big pruning scar here, which isn't, the nicest looking until it heals. And then from any other view, you've got these two side branches. There's one to the left,
yeah,
to
the left, right,
and one to my right. And so if you have any view there, the thickest part of the trunk is hidden by these smaller branches. So I think definitely sort of this view somewhere here will be the front view of the tree. So I think because this branch is very upright and it's thick, we want to continue it growing upright. Anything on a tree that's vertical thickens up faster, and as you get more horizontal, the thickening goes slower.
right.
And cascading branches are the weakest, and they don't thicken up much. So if you get a tree that has a really thick branch, it's best to keep it as an upright trunk because it's the best use for it. If you were to prune it off, like there's a more horizontal branch here off to the side, if you were to prune the whole top off and use that as your branch, then you've got a great big thick stump at where it joins to the trunk,
Right.
and too much taper, and it would look funny unless you grew the tree really big. So I think it's best to keep these thicker upright trunks as trunks and not branches.
And I do want to keep the tree small rather than large. So
Small, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think where we should start, there's a branch growing in the inside here. It's growing between this upright branch or trunk and the main one here, and I think that can be pruned off. It's just cluttering it up. Too many branches growing up there. So
yeah,
that's where I would start, Zen. I would just prune that one off.
sure.
We'll
This whole thing,
yeah, this one on the inside here. Yeah, the whole thing,
There it goes.
Yeah, so that opens that up, so you can kind of see that now, how it's opened it up there. And then
I guess we'll take off some of the more obvious, smaller
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, so on this side, we've got the thick trunk here, and then directly opposite we have some new thin shoots, and we don't want those there. We don't want branches opposite each other, so this one's directly opposite, because you get a thickening there if you keep that on. So I'd prune all these little ones off down below this
Yeah.
thicker branch.
This one, I'll take this one first. There
And
it
again,
goes.
if you have any different opinion or anything, let me know, because this is just
Yeah, no,
my view on the tree. And, there's no right or wrong. It's just
yeah, but yeah, I do agree with the cuts. I mean, it's way too low anyway. Plus, it's opposite on the other side.
yeah, you want a bit of a trunk on it.
Yeah,
Now, here's our first major cut. So this upright branch here, which you can see coming up here, it divides very quickly into three. So it has a branch here, a skinny one here. It's got a thicker one on this side, and then it's got one that comes up the middle that you've pruned already. So out of those, I think we've got to prune one of them off. So it's divided
Yeah.
from 1 to 2.
so we get 1 to 2. Yes,
I would keep the outside branch here,
right.
and then we've got to decide between these two which ones you want to keep.
Okay.
And
Well,
that's,
if this is the front,
yeah,
right,
Yeah.
then I will probably take off the one in the front there so we can get a better view of that.
right.
I don't know if you. So that goes off, and we get this on the side, that to the back. What do you think?
I'm thinking, here's my view.
Dock hair.
From the front, these two are in line, so it doesn't really matter which one you keep. This one comes out front more, if you were to prune that one off, you wouldn't have a lot of branching coming out the front of the tree.
Okay.
Whereas, see, if you look at it from the front here, if you imagine that one off,
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with
then
this.
two things. If you prune that front one off, you're going to have a big scar there that would be very visible. So if you prune the back one off, you're not going to see the scar from the front view.
Right.
Both I think are just as good as branches, and maybe the front one out front's better because this one where you pruned it, it kind of cups back in on itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Whereas
it's
this
going.
front one flows out nicely.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the back one. I think we'll get a more dimensional tree because you have this one coming out the back, this one coming out the front, and we'd get rid of the one coming up the middle.
Okay. Let me just.
But yeah, have a look at it. And
So that one's gone. You get this in the front, that to the side. Yeah, I think that'll work.
do you think so?
Yeah, because I do like this is going a kind of a
Kind of goes
awkward direction.
back.
It's-
Yeah, you
yeah.
have to prune it off to an outward facing branch, and then you've kind of got this weird curve where it comes in and then
Yeah.
slightly out.
Yeah.
And I think eventually that's going to look a bit awkward.
Okay.
I mean, it'll look okay, but it just, I think this is the better branch.
Yeah. Process kind of gives you the more fan out look.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
And it gives you a bit more taper too.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of advantages and not too many disadvantages.
It is a big branch. Okay.
Okay, you better say big cut coming up.
Yeah. A big cut coming up. I'll use one of the other ones because
You'll
it's.
have to use this one, I
yeah.
think. And it should work okay.
Yeah.
So be careful because these are spherical. They'll cut in deeper than you imagine.
Okay.
So I would do a rough prune to get used to it first.
I'll just do it there for now.
Yeah.
Big cut coming up.
Here you go.
Oh.
Nice.
And there it goes.
That's a good cutting.
Yeah. Unless you want to keep it, I'm not keeping it.
Oh yeah, I'll keep it.
Okay.
I don't have a pomegranate,
Yeah.
so do I need one? Yeah, I probably do.
I don't need any more tropical-ish trees, so.
So there's the cut now. You can see it there.
Yeah.
There's two options. You can just prune it a little smaller and then clean it up later on once these
Yeah.
branches are a
Oh,
little more vigorous, or you can take it right down now.
I'll try to clean it up as much as I can.
Okay, and I've got some of that wood glue we can put on it to seal the cut.
Probably a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah, a bit more.
if you can
Let's
in
get a
there,
better
yeah.
angle.
Yeah. That's looking good. I think
Yeah.
that's good.
This is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think that's good. So now let's look at the front. What do you think?
Yes, it does look much better.
I think it looks good.
Yeah,
And you don't have a big scar there.
yeah. Eventually, I guess eventually I want to branch somewhere over here to
Yes.
fill the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, this it does look good. It's just got a nice fanning out look to it.
Yeah, and I think the next step on that same branch, we don't want it as tall as the trunk, so we've got
Right.
to give this room to grow. Right now it's kind of shading out the main trunk that you want to grow thick,
Yeah.
so we've got to prune that down. So on this one, the skinny one back here, we've got a choice of anywhere pretty well. I would probably go to here for now.
Right there, eh? Okay.
That's where I would go because you've got some nice branches fanning out in that
Yeah,
area
this.
coming out.
Like, hopefully this
So
one
you'll
goes
get
right.
one out the back and one out the side. So
Okay.
yeah, I would probably come in there.
There that goes. Yeah.
And then the tall one, we've got to pick a point to prune that back.
Well,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I could take it back just about there for now, and then we can have a look and
I think so.
maybe go from
yeah,
there. That's not
I
too
think
low,
so.
right?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. So I'll take it off a bit. This is still probably higher than what we want, but
I would take this inside one off too at the same cut. Just kind of lower it down a bit.
this one?
No, this one.
Oh,
Here.
this. Oh, yeah,
So
that
you
one's
can
going towards. Okay.
prune through both. There it was. No, sorry. Just an angle cut up here,
Oh, I see. What
so
you
you
mean.
can cut the two. Yeah, that's it.
This is another fairly large cut, right?
Medium cut. Coming
Medium
up.
cut. You want more cuttings?
Sure, yeah, I'll try 'em all. So yeah, there's the front view you're seeing. So let's have a look. Is it making progress?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah.
It is. It's putting the emphasis more on here, isn't it?
Yeah, I want the middle to be.
So
more.
now let's cut all these branches down off of that, making it really compact. So you're going to go to the first nodes.
set.
Yeah, I hear car doors closing.
Well,
So
that's
I
probably.
would prune this one here and then this one here. Make it as compact as possible.
I am trusting Nigel with all these decisions. I think we're in good hands. Yeah, you said the first one, right?
Yeah, so
First
I
one
would go
going up.
right in there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to avoid the leaves.
Yeah, and then there's one. If you look here, there's one growing up the inside, going in towards
yeah,
the center.
yeah.
So that can be
That
cleaned
can
out
go.
totally, because you have another branch on the outside. That's it.
There it goes.
Okay, so let's look from the front now. So yeah, it's you know, apart from this branch,
Yeah, yeah.
we've got to fix that, but it's cleaning up. Now, this branch is a bit of a problem. If you look at the front here, everything's flowing upwards, and then this branch comes out exactly horizontal from the trunk line,
It just
90 degrees, which isn't a flowing branch, and it's there's two branches on this tree that have that style, and everything else seems to
go up.
flow upwards on an angle.
Yeah.
So they stand out as being kind of out of place on the tree, that it's like a
Yeah, especially that one.
different style. And
Like this one is way, it's way like protruding. It's cutting off the view on that branch. It just looks
yeah.
out of place for
Hello. I think we have visitors.
sure. Yeah.
Hello.
So for the second half of the pruning, you can check that out on Nigel's channel. He has a full video. I actually forgot to press record on the second half, so I don't have it. Anyway, I have the tree back on the bench now, which is right here. And I think that's the new front that we picked out. It's about there somewhere, maybe on an angle. So yeah, I was really happy with the pruning. And I'm looking forward to see how this tree develops. And just to give you an update, the dwarf burning bush that I pruned a couple weeks ago. So as you can see, it has new growth up top and on the two sides. This is a single flush tree, but actually there's actually some buds at the bottom as well. Actually, you can see that. So it's a single flush, but if the tree is vigorous, it will grow new branches. Although these are a bit too straight up there, but so yeah, it does that. It's not a guarantee, but in the this year and the last year, I pruned it in the summer, and they both times it came out with new shoots at different places. So single flush, but it also does have the chance to develop more. So that's for that. The other update is this is the Trident maple. You probably can't even tell right now. I cut the top off. I'm hoping for some buds around here, and then this year I'm going to dig this out for in the fall, and I'm going to overwinter this in the garage instead, because I saw a lot of dieback last year having this in the ground. So hopefully this trunk is quite thick already. If I leave it in here for another year, it will get much thicker, but I'm not sure how much dieback it would get in the winter. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm still kind of debating if I should take this out of the ground or not for this year, but maybe I'll make the decision later on. We'll see how this grows, see what comes out of the pruning. Let's check the bench. So the lavender is in flower, which is great. It's grown quite a bit. The flowers have been here for a week now, I think. It stays for probably for another week or so. It'll probably be gone after that. And everything else is looking good. I also got this the Royal Oak or English Oak from Nigel's. This is the smallest one, and it's the last one that's in a pot that was easy to to move. The rest are all in like one pot, so I took this one. Hopefully this is a special one that'll grow really well. And everything else is looking good. I pruned the larch back with a large mini forest. Everything was really long, so I pruned that back. I left a couple shoots unpruned, as you can see the letter cutter there, and then I think I have in here, because those are the branches that I want to grow either longer or just get more energy from those. Because with the bottom one, I like to keep that branch at the bottom. It's the lowest branch, so I left the shoots on there. I'm hoping it'll get more energy from my pruning of the rest of the tree, so it can thicken up a little bit. Same as this here, I want this to thicken up a bit as the so the top kind of get more of a crown look. Other than that, the only thing I can say for this season is it has been quite dry. It hasn't rained that much. With that said, it's going to rain today supposedly, so I'm hoping it will. And the ficus hasn't grown that well. There are new growth, but it's not as fast as I thought it would. It would grow outside. So lots of leaf burn, and it just hasn't been that hot. You know, every day it's about 23, 25, and then the nighttime we're still in the mid-teens. So I think that's what's kind of holding the growth back on the ficus. I'm hoping July and August will be a little different, and hopefully we can get a lot of growth on these guys. Now this is the crown of thorns cuttings that I got from Nigel. He gave it to me a while back, and everything is alive and growing, so that's great. Eventually, you know, once they grow a bit better, I'll move them out of the pot. This is actually not looking that good. This is a what do you call it, Satsuki azalea cutting that I got from David Johnson. They have flowers on them, but I took them off because I want more energy to go into the actual tree. But I don't know, it's not looking that good. I've been watering this every day because it's in a small pot, so I'm making sure it's keeping it watered. And then here, this is also from David Johnson. I got, this is a winter jasmine. It's a nice looking tree. I think I need to order both of these in the garage in the winter because they're not hardy. So yeah, it looks quite good actually, to be honest. I really like this. You know, even the styling of it right now, it looks fairly good. And then this is the bougainvillea. It lost all its indoor leaves actually when I took it outside. It just burnt or dropped or whatever, and most of these are all outdoor leaves. I do need to repot this soon, probably next week, because this is in that little mesh that comes with the nursery, and then that mesh really kind of mess up the root system, because once the roots hits it, it doesn't really go out, it will just start turning. So I need to repot this so that I can get rid of that and see what the root system looks like. I've never repotted this yet since I bought it, which was about a year at least ago. So I think I could safely move this into bonsai soil now, and it wouldn't be a problem. Everything else is more or less the same. That's the tree. That's the primo cedar that I pruned. Still looks good. Nothing to do there. All the Japanese maple seedlings are doing well so far. These guys here are the big ones that are from last year. So this is their second year, and it's already getting quite, you know, fairly thick of a trunk on this. But I will eventually cut it back to almost nothing. But it's growing really well, you know, really vigorous growth. At least on these two. Those also, they're growing. I mean, as long as they don't die, you know, if they can make it through the second year, and if they come out, if they start to you know, bud out on the third year, then you know that they're good seedlings. Everything here is good, and you can see some are more vigorous than others, because these are, you know, like these, that, you know, there's just a whole bunch of them here. So I don't know what's gonna happen next year. I'm sure some of them will die off, and some will make it. And then I have some other seedlings here. I I thought this whole thing has Japanese maples, and that is most likely Japanese maple. I just don't really recognize the leaves, because the seedlings I put in here are the regular Bloodgood or Import 1. They both look similar, and then the other one was like something Four Finger or something. It has bigger leaves, much bigger leaves, but they don't look like that, you know, or that. This is closer, but the leaf on the mature leaves, it has like not this deep sinus. So I'm not really sure what these are, or maybe they're just that's how they come out. I don't know, to be honest. So I'll just, you know, let it grow and we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's the update. I haven't had any trouble with anything, no insects this year yet, knock on wood. Hopefully I won't get any. So I'm really happy about that, the fact that I didn't have any insects. And I also have a couple things in the ground. They haven't really moved, not really much going on. I think they're just trying to settle in. Maybe hopefully next week or a week after they'll start growing. I mean, you know, July and August is the hottest month of the year, so hopefully we'll get some nice growth on all the trees. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching, and as the last thing, happy birthday, Nigel, on your 60th. See you guys next time.